Hi everyone, welcome back to Brother, Sister, Whatever, where real talk meets zero chill. I'm Lisa.
I'm Josh.
Today we're doing a really special episode. We are actually going to rewatch one of our most watched episodes on the lies that we tell ourselves. Are you ready?
I'm ready. By the way, just saying, I'm not a grandpa. So if you're reading my cup right now, I just want you to know I'm not that old yet. This is just a cup I happen to have grabbed.
Okay.
So we're going to start with the weekly what if.
Sounds good.
What if every lie you ever told, big or small, suddenly appeared in a pop-up bubble over your head anytime someone looked at you?
That'd be kind of embarrassing, actually.
Well, you're telling me.
Be kind of embarrassing. Not as embarrassing as if any thought, like any random thought that you had, came up as a bubble above your head. That would be the ultimate.
Oh, yeah.
But lies, I could see how that could maybe be embarrassing. It'd be like you'd be caught in the act. You know what I mean? Like you'd.
Well, I think
Yeah.
I think if everyone had that, then there'd be a lot less lying.
Well, that's true. I was just gonna say I wouldn't do it as much. That's for sure.
I think I would be in big trouble, but mainly for like sugarcoating. You know, like where I sugarcoat something. I'm like, yeah, it looks fine. You know, or something like that. So I think, I think I'd be.
I think I'd be more, the most trouble I would get in, I think, would be the kids. At least one of them doesn't know how to read yet, so.
You know, like Jet, last year he would go to school with the Luffy straw hat on every day.
Oh.
And you know, it was the cutest thing ever, right? But I mean, you know, it's a straw hat, right? I mean, I don't know, right? But like everyone loves him at that school. Like it's like the kids, because you know every parent, right? I mean, at least I do. I'm thinking like, oh my God, are they? If back in the day, if I wore that to school, oh, I would be dead meat, like dead meat.
Bullying, yeah.
You know, and
I don't think that's.
and it's not even to say that Jet doesn't look good in it or anything like that. You know, it's just you know how it is, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So. But yeah, I mean that would be a sucky pop up in that scenario where he's like, "Dad, I look good." I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah. But in the back of my mind,
no,
I'm like,
no.
"Oh my gosh, take this off, please. I don't want you to get bullied."
Aw.
So
Yeah.
That's a good weekly what if.
It is. It is. I randomly picked out some timestamps from our original episode to kind of go over and discuss.
Oh boy.
Okay. So, what are some of the lies that we tell ourselves? Common things that people lie to themselves about. I'll be happy when. How many times have you said that to yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have time to do that later.
Classic.
I'm fine.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I can change them. I'm not good enough. I don't care what people think. It's too late for me. That was something we were talking about last episode.
Yeah.
I'm over it. I don't need help. I can do it by myself. Money doesn't matter. I'm not like other people. All of these things. So it's interesting hearing all of those lies that we tell ourselves, or you know, again, it's interesting. I'm wondering which one of them, like, which are you most likely to still say out loud?
Well, you go first.
Oh, can I? Okay. Yeah, I still think, you know, like I have time for that later. You always, you know, like the putting things aside and like I can do that later. And it's not even so much the daily tasks, Josh. I don't think that was, I don't think I mean that so much like, oh, I'll do the dishes later kind of thing. It's more of the, of like the things that make you you, putting those things aside. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, like I don't have like, like becoming a workaholic and not giving yourself time to relax and just that kind of a vibe. That
Yeah.
lie. I
Mm.
think, yeah. I'll have time to go and take that class when the kids are older. And then the kids get older and they still don't take the fun class, that
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's one that still sticks with me a bit.
Mm.
Haunts me maybe.
That's a tough question.
Yeah.
I think one that is always kind of, is just like the self confidence, like mantras or whatever, like I believe in myself, or those type of things. I think there's this like yin and yang,
Up and
where you
down,
have
yeah.
moments where you're like, I can do this, and in your head you're like, I fucking can't do this. Or like, and
Yeah.
you kind of have to like almost overhaul your brain, right?
Okay, so the next timestamp. Do we care, Josh? Do we care? Let's see.
Where we'll be like, we don't care about this, and we technically do, but because it's our kid, we don't. Fallon will wear something and I'll be like, Fallon, like, come on, we're not going to wear that to school. But in the same, I'm saying, you be you. Oh, you be unique, you be different. Who cares what other people think? But at the same time, like, you can't wear that. I'm not comfortable going out with unicorn pants or whatever, even though I say it doesn't matter what other people think.
Self-preservation.
I don't know how many times I said, I don't give a shit what they fucking think.
But really, you do.
To a degree.
Yeah.
To a degree.
Yeah.
Because that's why you're so mad. You're so mad because you give a shit.
Yeah. You mentioned we say that we don't care, but really deep down we do.
Mm-hmm.
Have you managed to evade that?
I have.
You have?
From our talk.
Okay.
Yeah. I find I am actively working on some of those things.
Really?
For sure. Subconsciously, as we're having the talks, like there's little bits, right,
Yeah.
that just kind of stay with you.
Stay with you, exactly.
And
I feel the same way, Josh.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
And then like at some point, I'm kind of like saying like, blah blah blah, like I don't give a shit, and like I'm peaceful about it. Like, wow, I really don't care. Like
Yeah.
I've managed to this time, kind of beat that down, so to
Yeah.
speak. I think, as we're healing, like we've said many times in the podcast, like we're both healing, we're both, doing work, inner child work, all this crap, right?
Yeah.
I think it's bringing out things that our younger selves like wouldn't even fathom.
Yeah.
We're just so intelligent now.
Yeah. We're just so
We're
above
so
it all.
wise. We're so wise now.
Well, what are you? The monk? The what is it? The Tao disciple.
The Tao disciple.
The Tao disciple.
What about you, Lisa? Do you have anything to say about this? Do you still give a shit?
I think yes, I do. I think I have not reached the mecca of not giving a shit.
So like your kid has
yet.
like sauce on their face,
Okay.
and someone sees their face and they do the, ugh.
No, that kind of stuff doesn't bother me as much anymore. I don't sweat that kind of stuff. But when it's like other scenarios, I do tend to take things very, very personally. Unfortunately. So I'm still, that's definitely something I'm working on though. All right, let's check out the next timestamp, Josh.
All right. I was maybe through my relationships programmed a little bit to really care about certain things, especially like materialistic. and like looking a certain way.
Yeah.
And you know, and I've definitely gotten you know, quite a few pieces of humble pie as well that I had to be dished. But I feel like I've kind of grown to the point where now like I truly can confidently say like I really don't give a shit. You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't care if I have a Porsche or if I have a fucking Corolla. You know what I mean? Like, so that for me has definitely shifted
Yeah.
in me hitting my, like, getting into my 40s now. But you know, it's not about just I have to have these things. You know, these things
It's
have
not
to be,
like the look of it, maybe.
yeah, yeah. You know,
Yeah.
now it's
It's more
more,
inside and more like how
yeah,
it makes you feel.
yeah. You know,
Yeah, oh yeah, oh, I get it. I get it. Let's look at some of the reasons why we actually tell ourselves these things. Would it be like a fear of failure? That maybe in your eyes, if you weren't eating the great steak at Gibby's or driving the good car, that it looked like you weren't.
successful.
Yeah.
For sure.
No, but you know what? We were just talking about that, Josh. With age, you and more experience, right? You kind of like tend to give less fucks, right?
Yeah.
Do you think like what if there's any external validation that you chase, what is it? Do you have anything? I'm sure there's at least one thing you do. You in the original episode in the timestamp we just watched, you mentioned, you know, that you didn't care about the kind of things that you cared about before. You know, the kind of car that you drive. I believe we didn't see it in this clip, but I believe in that episode we were also talking about, like, you know, the food, the restaurants and stuff, right?
Oh, I love the restaurants.
Right, Gibby's and all of that. So, and that made you feel successful having those things, I guess,
Yeah.
in a way, right?
Yeah.
And so now you don't.
Yeah.
But is there something that still resonates or that still kind of lingers?
Yeah,
That does.
and it's a positive thing.
Okay.
Like, I think the external validation that I look for now is that I define success with time. So the more time I have with
Oh shit, that's
the
good.
kids, you know, the
Yeah.
more time I have with the kids, and especially nowadays, the more time I have for myself, I find that the more I feel successful.
All right, next timestamp.
Have you ever been in a situation where you had even just a simple argument with your better half and it's a little too personal, and obviously the kid says, "What's wrong?" and you make a white lie? I mean, we're not going to trauma dump on our
No,
kids,
good
right?
God, no. I just tell them it's none of your business.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's good.
So that's between me and Daddy. We're good though. Don't worry.
There's a boundary right there. That's a good boundary. My gosh.
Well, I just think I come from a place where you don't need to know everything about everything. Do you know what I mean?
I guess it's just because me, I don't, yeah, it's weird. I guess I just look at it differently. Like, they are my business and I'm their business. I don't know. I would feel like that's a white lie in a weird way. I would feel like me saying none of your business is the white lie.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why I think like that.
So, what did you think about? Well, what did you think about my little none of your business tactic? And have you actually started using it?
No.
No. Do you still feel the same way?
I guess theoretically, without realizing it, I do use it. It's just I don't say none of your business. I say like nothing. It's nothing, kind of thing. Now that I think about it, right? I'm just deciphering why, again, in my brain, because, you know, sometimes the thoughts are different, right? When we hear it again, I'm just trying to decipher why I think it's a white lie. I just feel like if it's in the family, it's different than if it's in the context of someone outside. I love the value of them understanding, like, dude, this is none of your business. But I don't know. I also feel like I don't want them to think that they can't, like,
Ask.
ask, I guess.
Oh, but there's a difference between asking and like they can ask anything. They
Hmm.
can emote anything, right? They're allowed that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're also allowed to say it's none of your business.
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
how you do it is how you do it. I actually really don't care.
I mean, me
How you
saying,
parent.
I guess,
I'm
I guess
okay
at
with
the end of
that.
the day, we're probably saying the same thing once again. Like me
Yeah,
saying it's
absolutely.
nothing is me saying it's none of your business.
Yeah,
Just it's, I guess, my version
it's
of
your version.
saying it,
Yeah,
so to speak.
yeah.
You know? Yeah.
So, to piggyback off of kids and parenting,
Mm-hmm.
do you think honesty should always win in parenting? Or do you think there's a time to lie?
I mean, look, I think there's a time to lie, sure. You know, I think that's just how I'm built. You know, I think you are too, but like it's just how I'm built. You know, like I can't do these extravagant lies. You know, even just me buying someone for, even though it's not necessarily the same thing, but like me buying something for someone and trying to keep it a surprise is impossible. You know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm great at poker. And if I need to be like in that dynamic, no
Yeah.
problem. I'll lie my teeth off. But in the sense of the people I care about, I think
Yeah.
yeah, I think honesty wins.
Uh, one last timestamp, Josh.
All right,
All right, you ready?
I'm ready. You know, you see these fucking, therapists on their little Instagram reels, and they're like, "You are enough."
Oh, I love those.
But and it's like, yeah,
It's like my drug of choice. Just say more.
and don't get me wrong, like I get it. They're just trying to help, and they're just trying to say, like, but like I almost like eye roll. But why do I eye roll? And I think it's something that we all go through that we have to kind of fight with. And I think only now at 40 years old where I'm finally kind of coming like out of that. These are the times that we want to work on ourselves. Like we want to look at the problems we have, versus when we're 30 or even 20, we're like, fuck, we don't have fucking problems. What are you talking about? I'm perfect.
Yeah.
So I think that plays.
Or the problems that we do have are not about us. They're always about other people.
Exactly.
Lies. I am enough. Looking in the mirror and actually like believing it. It's cringy. I'm still kind of like, it's so funny because I'm still at that like little stage where I'm like, I could go either way. I could like fall in love with affirmations or like start laughing at myself for doing them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I can see how it would be cringy.
Yeah.
But
see, it's crazy though, because do you say that to yourself?
that phrase specifically, I am enough, every once in a while. For me, it's more of that I am deserving of rest. I am deserving of that kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's more that.
I feel like I started saying I am enough when I started really believing I was, versus trying to trick myself into thinking.
Really?
Yeah, so I feel like when I started just taking care of myself mentally through the books, through, therapy, all of that, I feel like only then I was saying it, but I was never really told to say it. It just started to happen. It was like a byproduct of becoming who we are.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
So it was almost like a subconscious I am enough
Yeah.
to lead you to the actual literal I am enough.
Yeah, like it just happened because of the healing.
But in order for you to heal, one has to think there's like something to heal.
No, but like it just happened. Like I wasn't focused on me being enough. at least at least consciously, I wasn't focused on me being enough. I was focused on, you know, doing things a certain way or taking time for me or whatever, but not saying I'm taking time for me because I'm enough. You know, for me,
It was different.
it was different. It was more all the other stuff had to happen, and then it just now. I have to admit, I feel like almost aura a bit when
Yeah.
when I'm out and about. You know, like an aura of like I am enough. You know.
So how did it make you feel like to watch those back? It's been a few months,
It was
but
really cool.
it was interesting to.
It was. It was really
Not a
cool.
lot has changed, I don't think, in the way that we think or feel. Certainly not me, anyway. I pretty much feel like, yeah, pretty much feel the same way.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I feel the same way pretty much.
Yeah. Okay, Josh, how about if we move on to the this or that showdown?
Let's do it.
Okay. So, you start.
Liar, liar edition.
The liar, liar edition.
Oh boy. Okay. I love working under pressure versus chaos is how I thrive.
I love working under pressure.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually find
I
my
never would
best
have guessed.
results come out under pressure.
I never would have guessed.
So, Josh, would you say I'm fine or no worries at all?
No worries at all. That one's easy. Okay. This isn't about you versus it's totally not personal.
This isn't about you. I read the terms and conditions, or I'll circle back on that.
I'll circle back on that.
Who says I'll read I read the terms and
I've
conditions?
never read the terms of
heard.
conditions of anything in my life. Probably not a good thing, but yeah. You know what though? If when I meet people, they had a terms and conditions, I would probably read it.
That's what I mean, right? Like,
Yeah, I wish they had that, but you know that doesn't
Yeah.
happen. I wish I had a warranty too, but anyways, this isn't a no. Sorry, let's definitely hang out soon. Let's totally grab a coffee sometime.
let's definitely hang out soon.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay, one more each, okay?
Yeah.
I didn't see your text versus I must have deleted it by accident.
I didn't see your text.
Yeah.
I've moved on versus I don't even think about them anymore.
I don't even think about them anymore. Yeah. Because I don't okay, so speaking from experience just with that last one, I don't think moving on, like you can stop thinking about somebody, but the second they're back in your face or somebody brings up their name, all of those like emotions come back. So, which means you haven't moved on. So, I don't even think about them anymore. One day I'll get to I've moved on.
Well, that's all she wrote.
Yep.
Literally, right? That's all you wrote?
That's all I wrote.
Why don't you go to our socials? We love hearing from you. Brother, sister, whatever. Instagram, we've got YouTube, Facebook. We want to hear your comments. And of course, we love your fan mail.
Yes.
So please keep it coming. Yeah, and with that being said, thank you so much. I'm Josh, and
I'm Lisa.
Have a
a
good
great
one.
week. Bye.